levy, levy, levy. Hello there. So, let's talk about the word levy. It's a noun, which means it's a person, place, thing, or idea, in this case, an action. The common usage of levy is to refer to a tax or charge imposed on people, usually for a specific purpose like building a road, financing a war effort, or funding a community project. For example, the government decided to levy a special tax on sugary drinks to fund public health initiatives. It's also used in more informal contexts, such as when you say someone is levying a complaint against something or someone, meaning they're accusing them of wrongdoing. One thing to keep in mind with the word levy is that it can be quite formal and sounds quite official. So use it in situations where you want to sound serious and professional. The City Council has decided to levy a 10% tax on all businesses within the downtown area in order to fund the upcoming infrastructure development project. In casual conversation, you might say, "I'm not going to bother with that new theme park. It's too expensive, they're going to levy an arm and a leg for parking." This example illustrates how the word levy can be used to describe something as overly pricey. On the other hand, in a business or academic context, the sentence "the research study has found that implementing a carbon tax would effectively levy a significant financial burden on low-income households" showcases the word's use in discussing economic policies and their potential impacts. So, you want to know about this financial thing? Okay, imagine that sometimes governments need money to pay for important things they've committed to. But maybe they don't have enough in their budget already. To fix this problem, they might ask people who live there to set aside a little bit of their own money each month or year. Kind of like how you might put some money away for savings. This way, everyone contributes a small amount, and the government gets the extra cash it needs to fulfill its promises. Does that make sense? Likewise. 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 Let's talk about the word likewise. As an adverb, likewise is used to indicate that something happens in a similar way or has a similar effect. In common usage, you'll often see it paired with verbs like say, think, or do to show a parallel action or situation, such as "I'm planning to go to the beach this weekend. Likewise, my friends are also going." You can use likewise to show that you're doing something similar to someone else, making it a great word to express solidarity or agreement. A special note about its usage is that likewise can sometimes be confused with also. But while they both mean in addition to what was said, likewise tends to imply a stronger connection or similarity between the two things being compared. So use them in different contexts and see how it feels. In a formal setting, you might say, likewise, "I have always been fascinated by the works of Shakespeare, which is why I chose to write my thesis on his influence in modern literature." This sentence is used in an academic context where the speaker is responding to a question about their research interests and is showing agreement or similarity with someone else's opinion. On the other hand, in a casual conversation, you might say, "So you're a big fan of hiking?" Likewise, "I just got back from an amazing trip to Yosemite last weekend." Here, the word likewise is used to show that the speaker has also done something similar, such as enjoying outdoor activities. In a business context, you might say, "We've been implementing new quality control measures for the past 6 months. And likewise, our sales figures have seen a significant increase." In this example, Likewise is used to indicate that two related events or outcomes are happening simultaneously, showing cause and effect relationships between them. So you want to know about likewise. Don't worry if you're not familiar with it. In simple terms, likewise is a word that means something happens in the same way or manner as something else. It's often used to show a connection between two or more ideas, actions, or situations. For example, I like playing tennis on weekends. Likewise, my friend likes playing golf. See how it links the two activities together? Main characteristics of likewise are that it's an adverb, which means it modifies verbs, and it's used to show a similarity between things. You might have also heard of words like also, too, or similarly. They all convey a similar idea, but likewise has a slightly more formal tone. So, when you use likewise, you're showing that the situation or action is happening in the same way as something else. And it's usually used to add more information or context to what's already been said. Nonetheless. 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 So, you want to know more about the word nonetheless? Well, first let's look at its part of speech. It's an adverb. Nonetheless is used to indicate that something unexpected happens or remains true despite what was previously stated. In common usage, people often use it to add a bit of nuance or contrast to their sentences. For example, you might say, I'm not feeling well today. Nonetheless, I'll still go to the office. This shows that despite not being in the best shape, you're going to work anyway. One special note about its usage is that nonetheless can sometimes be confused with still. But while still implies a continuation of something, nonetheless usually suggests a contrast or surprise after what was previously stated. So, take this example. I'm still sleepy. I'll just close my eyes for 10 more minutes. The word still here emphasizes that you're continuing to be sleepy. But if you said, I'm not good at math, nonetheless I managed to solve the problem, nonetheless would emphasize that it's surprising given your lack of math skills. In formal contexts, nonetheless is used to indicate that a contrast or exception exists despite what was previously stated. Despite the rain, we decided to go for a walk nonetheless, and enjoyed a lovely stroll through the park. This example shows how nonetheless can be used to maintain the tone of the previous statement while introducing a new idea. In casual conversations, nonetheless is used to add emphasis to a contrasting thought or action. I was really tired yesterday, but I still managed to get all my chores done nonetheless. It's funny what we can do when we're motivated. This example illustrates how nonetheless can be used to highlight the unexpected outcome of a situation. In business or academic contexts, nonetheless is used to emphasize that a particular aspect remains true despite some obstacles or challenges. Our team has made significant progress in developing the new software package. Nonetheless, our timeline for completion may be pushed back due to unforeseen technical issues. This example shows how nonetheless can be used to maintain confidence and focus on achieving goals, despite unexpected setbacks. So, when we want to talk about something that happens or is true despite the fact that something else might seem to contradict it, we use a special word that helps us sound polite and formal at the same time. The main characteristic of this word is that it shows us that something continues to exist or happen even if there's an obstacle in our way. It's often used when we want to say that something good happens despite some bad news or circumstances. Like despite being tired, she managed to finish her project on time. See how the word helps us connect the idea of fatigue with the fact that she was able to complete her task? Similar concepts or synonyms for this word are phrases like in spite of, despite the fact that, or even, but in informal contexts. It's a useful word to know because it can help you sound more mature and sophisticated in your writing or conversation. And it's especially helpful when you want to talk about something positive happening despite some negative circumstances.